Hello and welcome to Canutillo Convos, the official Canutillo ISD podcast. We are on location at Canutillo High School, and we're happy to have with us, of course, our leader, Superintendent Dr. Pedro Galaviz. We also have Canutillo High School Principal, Mr. Clapsaddle, as a guest, and our Hall of Fame coach and Canutillo VIP, our head football coach and athletic director, Coach Brooks. Coach, Ms. Clapsaddle, thanks for joining us today on this episode. We're really excited about the start of the season.
And that Coach Brooks is smiling right now.
He is smiling.
He's smiling. So
every day.
Take my word for it.
So and I guess that leads us to this conversation, because his smile should mean that we're having we're gonna have a great season this season. The Eagles are getting a lot of media attention. We kick off the season this Friday at home against Pebble Hills. Coach, how's it looking?
We did a good job last week in the scrimmage against Franklin. We had some kids come through that we weren't sure about. We've got a good nucleus of kids coming back. We got about 150 kids in our program, which is really good for a 5A high school. Right now we're ranked 21st in the state of Texas in 5A. Newspaper just came out today. We're ranked 2. Pebble Hills will be 1 tomorrow. So I guess on paper we look pretty good. Who knows what we'll look like on the field?
Coach, I just and Gus, just when you say we have a nucleus, how do you create that as a coach?
I think our biggest thing is consistency. I've had so many. My coaches in football, we don't have a very high turnover. Coach Ramirez has been here. This is his 22nd season with me. Coach De La Cruz, this is his 23rd. Coach Galaviz, I think it's his 21st. I think I have 2 guys that have been less than 5 years. So we have very, very small turnover. Our kids get coached from the day they get here. We don't shun our JV aside. Our JV kids get the same amount of work. We expect the same from our freshmen as we do from our seniors. We've got kids who are very dedicated to it. They're hardworking. What people don't see is the summertime and the Saturdays into Sundays when the coaches are up here all season, and the kids up here all summer. And the coaches volunteering their time to be here. So it's a good when we say a good nucleus, we make kids feel wanted in our program. We've always said that we want our kids treated like you would treat your own kids. And what's unique about us is all of us who have sons have gone through and played here. Their kids have. And right now we've got probably the last Coach De La Cruz's, unless our young coaches get busy, because I ain't gonna be able to do that. So I think that helps. But I also think too that we've got a really good little league that goes with our Little Eagles and the Upper Valley Longhorns. So those kids start playing at a young age. We bring them up for homecoming and they walk down the stadium with us. And it's weird, you ask the kids, at homecoming, or I'll ask them before the game, how many of you guys walk down the stairs with these guys? And it's amazing how many of them did that, and they remember it. So, we don't have our kids being one high school, they don't have a lot of, you don't have to compete a lot. Our kids are Canutillo kids.
Cool. That's great. And, we're getting a lot of media attention. I've been reading the newspaper and watching the news. Of course, we have some players that have been recruited at a very high level here. Talk about the level of players that we have on the team. We have LJ, of course, that's getting a lot of attention. But I mean, it goes deep. It's not superficial here. We're seeing a lot of talent in every aspect of your team.
Well, we have historically we've had 2 Division I kids. Okay, LJ will be the 3rd. So we don't get a lot of Division I athletes. We do get a lot of kids who go on and play Division II. We get a lot of kids that play in AIA and Division III, get their degrees, and it helps them along the line. And we have a lot of kids who have the ability to go on and play. And a lot of them just say, Coach, I'm done. I played high school, I enjoyed it. I'm going in the military, I'm going to the workforce, whatever. If a kid wants to play, we do everything in our power to try to get them to the next level if they want to. A lot of times, it's on paper, it looks really good. A kid says he has an offer from X school and it's a Division III or NAIA, but it's going to cost the kid $40,000 a year to do that. And you say, well, is that what you want to do? Is it worth it? But you've got other kids. Our quarterback from last year is signed with Southern Nazarene University. He had great grades. Basically, he's getting a full ride with his football and his academics. So that went hand in hand. He's getting his degree that way. We've had 3 kids, mine included, go to Missouri S&T Science and Technology, which is a premier engineering school. All three of those kids got degrees, came out without, any debt or whatever. We've got one of our employees this district in our IT department played at Western New Mexico. Him and his brother played up there, got degrees from it. So it's the kids that want to play. We try to get it, and it's not just football. We've got kids in baseball playing places. We've got kids in basketball playing places. We've got cross country kids. We've got girls basketball. We've got all kinds of kids. And I'd like to talk about that a little bit. last year, as our community hears about this, every sport but one made the playoffs last year. And then all the year before we had the same thing. And for a high school to do that's got to be a pretty good nucleus of coaches, pretty good nucleus of kids. So sometimes I think we don't look at it as a district and say, hey, we really have done a good job athletically, and our kids and our coaches have been very dedicated to it.
Yeah, that's great. It shows the level of commitment from kids and from adults in the school to really help kids meet their academic goals, their personal goals, their athletic goals, and their long-term goals. And to that end, Ms. Clapsaddle, I know homecoming's coming up, preparations are coming up, and I want to talk to you about inviting people to start nominating people for our Honor X. We have tons of people that have graduated from Canutillo High School that have gone on to do amazing things. Who are we looking for when we're looking for an Honor X?
Well, you're looking for somebody who really represents the community, the work ethic, the pride that they have in Canutillo, and being from Canutillo High School, graduated from Canutillo High School. So we're looking for anybody that anybody wants to nominate, making sure on your nominations that you put everything down. We want to know everything we can about the success of every one of our students. So if you're interested in nominating somebody for the Outstanding X, we need to get that done because homecoming is the week of September 23rd. That's our homecoming game against Parkland. And so, and we have the parade on the 21st. So if you're interested in putting in a float or you want your organization to be represented, let us know, contact us, and we're going to have all that information so that you, Gus, and your department can put that up for us so they can access the application for the parade as well as the Outstanding X nomination.
I want to nominate someone right now, and I think, Coach, you did your whole locker room, and this one name kept coming up as, is it Canutillo X? He's doing great personally, professionally. What's his name, Coach?
Eddie
Rascon, Eddie Rascon. Why? What about him makes him so special?
Well, Eddie played for us, ran track, did everything. Eddie grew up in a trailer in Vinton, Texas. Eddie went to Western Mexico, did not work out for him. Got him to New Mexico military, did a great job up there. Went to Missouri S&T, was a Division II All-American. Went to work for the Saints, for the Titans first, then the Saints. Then got in the financial world. He's, like he told me, the kind of money I make, he can't deal with. He does real money. He's really donated back to both track and the football program. He kind of spearheaded and said, "Coach, what do you need?" And I'm going to try to get it. And he got about half of it. He's always a guy who will say yes. He's always giving back to the community. He gives advice to kids. He's talked to kids who are going on to play college football. Give them an idea what it's like to be away from home, be away from Canutillo, and he's just a special alumni.
Well, that's great, and we're going to start posting information this week on our search for Honored X, on our social media and our webpage for the Canutillo ISD. So be on the lookout for that, and hopefully we can honor people like Ms. Rascon, who's doing great things.
And giving back to the community.
And giving back to our
the
community.
high school.
Yeah. And speaking of giving back, we're getting ready to start engaging our community. Big news this week, Dr. Galaviz, the school board, called the bond election for November 8th. We're calling this the Every Child, Every School Canutillo Bond 2022. This is a follow-up to our request that was unsuccessful last year. We spent several months engaging with stakeholders in the community, asking pretty much what the sentiment is out there. And given our state of facilities, given our study of facilities and our needs, we were going out to engage with our public again and asking them to consider a bond election. What message do you want to send out to the community regarding this proposal?
Well, I mean, one of the things is what we didn't do last time was engage, making sure that it was every school, every child. And that's why we brought in Coach Brooks to give us an assessment with him and his coaches on the athletic facilities and along with fine arts and CTE. So I know we worked diligently with Coach Brooks in making sure, prime example, lights on the ball field. Everyone else has lights, and this is about competing, and our kids are deserving. We're a AAA district, best small school district in Texas, but we need our facilities to match our level of play. As Coach was saying, all our teams made the playoffs last year. That's great, and they made the playoffs with our facilities now. With what we have now, can you imagine if we put them up to 2022 standards? I don't know, Coach, what do you think of the...
Well, I think, what people need to understand about our athletic facilities is they were built in 2007, I believe, is when we moved in here, and we've grown by sports. We've added tennis. Our numbers have gone up significantly. Our locker room space has not. One of the things in the bond is to give track a locker room, give soccer a locker room. Right now, everybody shares. We're one of the few 5As, if the only 5A in the city who does this. Mm-hmm. And then upgrading the softball and baseball field with lights not only helps us compete with the rest of the districts, but also the kids lose less academic time. They're not getting out of school at 2 o'clock to go to a 4 o'clock game. They're going to a 6 o'clock game where they're spending their entire day in school on Tuesdays and Fridays, and baseball and softball is one of those sports that play twice a week. The other thing is, I think everybody deserves, whether it be a track athlete, a soccer athlete, girls soccer, everybody deserves the right amount of space, and this bond will give it to them. Plus the coaches, right now, storage is an issue for everything, and it's probably an issue for the entire school. This bond will address those things. It will also address our facilities for our middle schools as far as athletics go as well.
Yeah, this is really a bond that is split in four ways, right? We're addressing 4 critical issues: our safety and security, which is top of mind for everyone right now; our growth, which is really Canutillo's bread and butter right now. We are experiencing fast growth. We're one of 2 districts in the region that can say that. Our equity, knowing full well that we have a historic community in Canutillo, and that if whatever we do in one side of the district, we must do on the other. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, is our student programming. We, like Dr. Galaviz mentioned, we're a AAA rated school district, best small school district in Texas. And that means we have to keep up with programming. And Ms. Clapsaddle, you're the keystone school here, the flagship. And I know that you're doing a great job with our kids, but you want to offer more. You want to be able to do more. And you're even offering up tours of your facility to people that might have questions about the bond, so they can come see how our teachers are doing more with less. How our classrooms, like our healthcare classrooms, are crammed in there, trying to do the best with what they have.
Right. Yes, and I just want people to see. I want people to be informed. Of course, I want everybody to vote yes, because I want our kids to have the very best that we can give them here in Canutillo. But if you're going to vote no, then I want you to make an informed no. I don't want it to be an angry no, or a no based on what happened 10 or 12 years ago. I want it to be based on knowledge that you have right now. And I just want people to know that our doors are open. Come and look. Come and see the things that we're doing. See how our health department, health program, how they're crammed into the facility, and they have to split space, and this bond would allow us to have a better facility for them, especially because we're in the process of talking with Texas Tech. What we'd like to do is our kiddos that are going through our health science program get them their dual credit hours as well, so that when they graduate with us, they take a class over the summer, and then as soon as they graduate, they're able to go to Texas Tech and start their nursing program. They can graduate in 18 months.
Yeah.
By the time they're 19, 20 years old, they're ready to go. They're ready to start their nursing program. But we can't do that to fidelity or to the number of students we'd like to reach with the facilities that we have right now. We're limited in how many kids we're able to put in and what we can do. So this bond would help us to have a better facility. We're also, of course, wanting to grow our robotics and our engineering program. You go in there and kids are pushing desks out towards the wall or out in the hallway so they can have the space to build their robots and to run them and to run their trials, or they're down in the lower rotunda. And I just, our kids need to have that bigger facility. And then when you look at fine arts, having a place to store their equipment and build those programs. And we have a great choir teacher that could do even more than with our mariachi and our choir and everything else. We're winning awards, but again, like athletics, how much more could we do with a better facility for our kids? And of course, I love sports. So I think having this is what draws kids to school. I always tell my teachers, kids don't run to the building going, oh my God, I can't wait to do math and science today. I'm so excited to read Shakespeare today.
I get to read War and Peace.
I get to read, they're not beating our doors down saying, let me in for that. What they're coming for and what's keeping them engaged is our CTE programs and our athletic programs and our athletic success and our fine arts. And it builds pride in our school as well, which you want. Because when the kids have pride in their school, you see the difference. You see the difference in behavior. You see the difference in how they take care of the school and what they're accomplishing. So I think this bond is definitely what we need to be able to meet those needs. And that's all the program stuff. What about just the general stuff like water leaking through and rain and those maintenance things that unfortunately the state doesn't give us a budget to cover. And
well, they don't give us any money actually.
No, and if people are like, well, I don't believe that, well, research it.
Yeah.
Google it. Don't just take what we say as law or gospel. Go Google that and go find out. We're not saying this. It doesn't benefit us not to be transparent. We need to be honest, and we need to tell you where we're spending it and that we don't have money coming in from other sources.
Yeah. And transparency is a big issue. It's something that's come up a lot during our conversations, and it's a valid concern that our community has had. Dr. Galaviz, I think you'll agree that we could have done a better job of telling the public how we spent funds from the previous bond election. I think once we go back, we were able to track down every single cent and tell the public how we spent it. We just didn't do it well. We didn't do it well.
It's like anything, Coach. When you lose, that's when you really learn. Just like every Saturday, Coach is watching film. Does your wife still make the sandwiches for the coaches?
Yes.
In the morning, she comes in with sandwiches for them. So that's what you do. Whether you win or you lose, especially when you lose, you want to go back and reflect on what you did well and how you can be better. That's what we need to be better at.
Right.
And again, speaking of the bond, and the state gives us about $9 and some cents for safety for their kids. It comes out to $58,000 a year for our 6,200 plus kids. That's nothing. $58,000, clap. You can spend that with blinking. That's what. Doesn't even cover your helmets probably, or for the athletic gear that we need. So, right now, we want to spend between $10 to $14 million just on safety and security, with cameras, with 22 devices in order to be able to lock down a classroom with one push of a button. So again, we just want to get better in every aspect.
And I think we're definitely, as we go about informing the public about the bond, we're going to be as thorough as possible and as in depth as possible. But we also want to make sure that they understand the commitment that we're making on behalf of the administration and the school board's going to be making for levels of transparency and accountability. And it's something that needs to be done. We are cognizant that concerns are out there and that we need to address those. So we're making sure that we are building the systems that are needed to tell the public, listen, we hear you, and we're going to act on those concerns. We're going to have systems of transparency and systems of accountability.
Yeah, and I think on top of that, we have elections coming up. So we have 3 seats open. We have 10 possible candidates, and I invite all the candidates, if you want to come on Convos, to talk about why you, as a candidate, then come on. Because again, we need candidates that are here for kids, not for themselves, not for their political agenda, not for their own self, but for us and for the kids and for the coaches, for the principals, for the teachers, for our community.
Yeah. Well, and with that, we invite the public to come online and check out the information we have about the bond. It's on our website, www.canutillohisd.org Canutillo Bond 2022. And all the info's there. It includes a calendar of events. We're going to be going out and about to every corner of the district to inform the public. So be on the lookout for more information. We're willing to meet with anyone to talk about the bond, to anyone to talk about the impact, and we invite the public to get involved. And with that, Coach, we wish you good luck this weekend.
Friday night.
Let's
For
go.
the record, Miss Clapsaddle, Mama Clap is in dress code.
Always.
She's in dress code.
Always. I lead by example. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.